Professional wrestling is the one true sport. Other sports have their share of intense, dramatic moments, but nothing can compare with professional wrestling. Welcome to Wrestling History X, where three friends come together, talk about the stories behind the matches. I'm Matt.
And I'm only good for three things.
Welcome to episode 386, Rebellion 1999.
That's right, folks. We're in the UK. No tagline necessary.
So this is the inaugural Rebellion event produced by the WWF. It would take place on October 2nd, 1999 from the National Indoor Arena in Birmingham, England, with an attendance of 13,500.
Yeah, a bunch of stoked people with accents. They don't go over here super often. This one's a pay-per-view for their UK pay-per-view company. I can't remember what it's called.
Sky Sports.
Sky Sports. So,
yep.
Yeah.
One of those that us in the USA couldn't see until basically the network
existed, yeah.
Came about. But it's here, and we can watch it now, so...
Yeah, I can't imagine that many of the intense tape traders were trading for Rebellion in 1999. They were probably looking for tapes from the other side of the world.
Yeah. But a couple movies that would come out the same time as Rebellion, American Beauty and Three Kings will come out the same week.
I've never seen Three Kings, and I've only heard good things about it.
Mm-hmm.
American Beauty is a movie that everybody shit their pants over, but now everybody looks back at it like, what is this stupid, pretentious dog shit?
I can see why people do that, but when it came out...
yeah.
It was absolutely incredible.
And, I mean, yeah, the plastic bag thing is maybe the funniest clip to go back and rewatch because it is so up its own ass, but it's obviously incredibly tainted at this point, considering it stars Kevin Spacey playing a pedophile.
Yeah.
Which is a thing that just, a word that gets thrown around like crazy these days for good reason. But yeah, and also the underage massive jugs of Thora Birch are in this film.
Mm-hmm.
As her parents signed off on it. She was like 17, I think.
Was she 17 at the time?
I think so.
Yeah, she was.
Yeah.
I remember...
Pretty wild.
Because I was reading a book about... it was the Best Year in Movies book.
About 1999. I wanted to read that.
It's a very good book. If
I can't remember who wrote it.
Brian Rafferty wrote it. I'm trying to remember because he said there was another girl that was...
Mina Savari is the other girl.
No, but she was like supposed to...
play the part?
Play the part, and then her parents found out about the nudity in it and was like pulled out.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember. And I don't remember who it is right offhand.
Scarlett Johansson. It would have made sense at the time.
I think Scarlett would have been under 17 at that point. So.
Oh, wow.
Because Ghost World wasn't until 2001 or 2.
Oh, really?
I don't think. And she was underage in that movie. Yeah, Ghost World's 2001, and Scarlett she would have been 15 at the time of, so definitely not.
Yeah, I mean, 17 is pretty wild, but still.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it was a different time, folks.
It was. Three Kings.
Why have I not seen Three Kings? How good is Three Kings, man?
Three Kings is, I think, one of the most underrated films.
It's a comedy action film.
Yeah.
And it's Clooney.
It's Clooney, Wahlberg, and Ice Cube.
And it's, before, it was when everybody thought Wahlberg was still good.
Yeah. I mean, this is Clooney's, I want to say it's Clooney's first big movie. Because I don't think Out of Sight had...
I think Out of Sight already came out because we've talked about it on the show.
Have we? Okay.
But Ocean's hasn't out yet. Ocean's out by now.
Is it?
Surely.
I guess he had done From Dusk to Dawn already, which probably put... Oh, I guess Batman and Robin had already come out too, so...
This was like...
Out of Sight, yeah.
this is building up to Ocean cementing him as a like movie star. Because all those movies, like Out of Sight, didn't do well, but it was well loved.
Yeah, I mean that's a lot of.
Dusk Till Dawn is a trashy movie for like horror fans, and then it's like, oh, the ER guy's in it.
But I mean, this is. I do want to say it's one of David Russell's first directorial things.
Oh yeah, I was going to ask who directed it.
I mean, he had done Spanking the Monkey, Flirting with Disaster in the early 90s.
I don't know either of those.
Which are both like super indie character. I mean,
indie comedies.
David Russell, like all of his movies are kind of that like quirky comedy. When he goes the comedy route, like
yeah.
Because in later days he does the Fighter and American Hustle.
Yeah, those American Hustle, biggest dog shit ever.
But like his first few, like Spanking the Monkey, Flirting with Disaster, Three Kings, I Heart Huckabees.
I never saw Huckabees either, which I should have. At that time, it would have been.
I know some people shit on Silver Linings Playbook, but I think it's a very good movie for like Jennifer Lawrence and Bradley Cooper. Like
it was a huge hit.
Yeah,
but American Hustle deserves being shit on. It also like didn't win the Oscar, and it was up against a real Martin Scorsese movie as opposed to the fake one the fake crummy one that David O. Russell made.
I mean, it was just a nominee. It didn't win any of its 10 nominations.
Amsterdam, I know everybody shit on. I didn't see it.
Amsterdam was not great. Like there was good performances in it.
I'm excited for.
That's the thing is that like. He brings out good performances in his actors, even if the movie isn't always great.
Yeah. The only thing I remember getting a kick out of in American Hustle was the science microwave. Or the science oven. Because the Jennifer Lawrence gets gifted a microwave.
But Three Kings is very Treasure of Sierra Madre.
Okay. A movie I've never seen, but it's the favorite movie of my favorite musician.
So it's very much that. And like I said, it's a John Ridley wrote it, so like you can kind of John Ridley with Russell wrote the film.
John Ridley. You know, his writing partner.
You know, John Ridley's done a bunch of 12 Years a Slave and Red Tails and stuff like that. Like what else has he written? He usually writes African American stories. Yeah. Is basically where. But yeah, 12 Years a Slave, Red Tails, Barbershop.
Nobody saw. Barbershop movie everybody saw.
He did some. He does comic book stuff as well.
Okay.
Static Shock.
He's like a Reggie Hudlin who's like
him and Hudlin are very
close.
I'm
sure they're friends.
Like he wrote stuff for Fresh Prince and Martin back in the day.
Love Martin.
Undercover Brother.
Oh, I've always heard good things. I haven't seen it. Looks like David O. Russell's next movie is the Madden movie, which I'm excited for because it has Nicolas Cage, Christian Bale, John Mulaney, Sienna Miller, and Shane Gillis in it. It's the craziest cast. Oh, and Catherine Hahn. Wild cast. And Joel Murray is Pat Summerall. I mean, whether it's good or not, I don't care. It sounds fun.
Like I said, Russell brings out great performances, so even if the movie's not good.
Yeah. Is Three Kings his best movie?
I mean, I really like Silver Linings Playbook. The Fighter is probably his best movie.
I haven't seen The Fighter, but I do love a boxing movie.
But Three Kings is very, very good.
It's in his top 5.
There is nothing, like even American Hustle and Amsterdam, I'm not going to say are not worth going and watching. If you've never seen them.
I'll say you can skip American Hustle and I'll give you a list of things to watch, but that's me personally.
Because the performances in it are still very good, in my opinion. So,
yeah.
Basically, both these movies, American Beauty and Three Kings, I recommend going and seeing them if you've never seen them. If you have issues with Kevin Spacey.
Honestly, it's worth a watch just for the to understand the cultural moment of 1999 and be like, oh, that's where we were.
Absolutely.
So it's just interesting that this movie was like beloved, and now everybody looks back and they're like, did I have rocks in my brain?
Yeah.
And not just because of Kevin Spacey. People felt that way before all the Kevin Spacey stuff came.
I mean, literally by the MTV Movie Awards the next summer, they were already making fun of the bag scene.
Yeah, but it's maybe one of the most mockable things from from a big movie that I can think of.
Yeah,
it's like up there with Unobtainium.
Yeah,
and I'm an Avatar defender.
But enough about two very good movies. Highly recommended movies.
They don't crack the top 10 of 1999 though, because that's almost impossible.
Actually, I think probably American Beauty probably. I mean, I do think it deserved the Oscar when
you saw it.
When I saw it then, like obviously, but hearsay that
Yeah.
But let's talk some Rebellion '99.
It's the only Rebellion they do.
The only one in 1999. There's 4 of them.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they do them one for the next 4 years.
You said inaugural, and I was like, you mean only? But I just figured they'd use a different name each time they went back. But yeah, might as well keep the name if you're selling out.
Plus, it's a really good logo. I'm just going to say it right now.
I can't picture it.
It's like, well, you have the Red Rebellion name, but then they have like a circle with the black fist in it.
Looks like very MMA, maybe.
Kind of, but like I looked for a T-shirt and I couldn't find it anywhere.
Because you like the logo.
I like the logo enough that I was like, that's kind of cool.
Oh yeah, I gotcha. Backwards E in red, very slightly commie, slightly Black Power fist. It looks like a Rage Against the Machine T-shirt.
But the WWF Attitude Package plays before a video package showing footage of Triple H and The Rock as British and American narrators exchange lines. Mr. Helmsley, Triple H. Mr. Rock, the Great One. An athletic competition for the WWF Championship. A war inside cold hard steel for the title. 2 gentlemen settling a tiff. 2 men gonna kick some bum.
But like going from a tiff and then bum, which like bum sounds English. If you're being like, oh, we're gonna do the gritty American accent.
Say ass, bro.
Yeah, it's fine. Ass. It's like this. We had the dog kennel fight on the last pay-per-view, and it was because a man killed and fed his dog to him.
Yeah.
Unknowingly. So I'm pretty sure that the kids listening to this or watching this show can handle the word ass.
Yeah. Hunter says 1 goal, 1 aim, 1 road, 1 focus. While The Rock claims he's going to do to Triple H exactly what he does best. And that's lay the smackdown on your candy ass.
It's either that or stuff up his butt.
And Hunter responds that the time for talking is over. Let's do this right now. We then get the Rebellion opening video package, shown with logo.
Which Matt really likes.
Before Pyro goes off in the arena, with Jim Ross welcoming us to the show, joined by Michael Hayes.
Oof. Just going to get out in front of this. Michael Hayes takes this show down a full notch, because he is awful in commentary.
They discuss the matches we'll see tonight when Jeff Jarrett and Miss Kitty make their way to the ring with a vacuum in hand. And we also see highlights from Raw, where Tom Pritchard attempted to help Double J by whacking Chyna with a guitar, only for her to land on top of Jarrett to get the win.
Tom Pritchard getting a lot of work on camera these days.
And Double J takes the mic to tell us that women are only good for cooking, cleaning, and making babies, mentioning he has 1,000 pounds for any woman that wants to prove his point.
And by 1,000 pounds, Matt means European currency. Offering up some cash.
Before making fun of some of the ladies in the crowd, but ends up picking one from the front row.
There's a shot where he's like, oh, not you. You're too ugly. And then the camera should goes to this girl, and she's kind of ugly. And I was like, my God, they didn't need to do that to her.
And so he has her vacuum up some dirt that he pours on the mat, only to note that she's missing a lot of it, followed by shoving her down and locking on a figure 4.
It looks like a nice vacuum. They have it. Looks like it's plugged in, but
it is plugged in.
But yeah, there's I mean, it might not be on. It's like, who can hear it? She just keeps going over the cornmeal or whatever, and it doesn't pick it up. So what does Jeff Jarrett do? Exactly what you think he's going to do.
Chyna then runs down and attacks Jarrett, delivering turnbuckle smashes and a clothesline that sends Double J to the floor. And Chyna leaves to the back as their ring announcer does a coin flip to determine which title will be on the line in the next match. Taking us to our first match, Jeff Jarrett.
Already at the ring.
With Miss Kitty versus D'Lo Brown for the WWF Intercontinental Championship.
So if whoever lost the coin toss, I assume their belt
would be on the
line. So Brown has the Euro belt.
Yep.
Jeff has the IC belt. Jeff lost.
But that also means the champ came out first. Foreshadowing.
I mean, I like Jeff Jarrett, but I would love for D'Lo to be a double champion. That would be cool.
And D'Lo starts us off with strikes, a leaping forearm, and a power slam for a 2 count, before a sit-out spinebuster gets a near fall. And Jarrett bails out to regroup and looks to leave with his belt. But Brown gives chase up the aisle to hammer away on the champ, bringing him back to the ring. When Double J would reverse a whip to apply a sleeper, taking D'Lo down to the mat. Brown rallies to his feet, escaping with elbows and a vertical suplex. Leaps off the second rope, only for Jarrett to drop kick him in midair to regain control. Double J with strikes, chokes on the ropes, and a tornado single armbreaker off the middle rope. But a reversed whip by D'Lo leads to a sky high, leaving both men down momentarily.
These guys are very good opponents. Sometimes when we're watching these WWF shows, I think about what would it look like if I could see Jeff Jarrett and D'Lo in a WCW ring where they can just like kind of have fun, and it's more focused on wrestling. That's all I got.
Back to their feet, Brown connects with a tilt-a-whirl slam, a spin kick, body slam, and a standing leg drop for a 2 count. Heads up top for a double axe handle, only for Jarrett to get his boot up to the chin.
Ooh.
Goes for a roll-up, but D'Lo sits down on his opponent for a near fall. Brown then sends Double J to a corner, only to charge into a back elbow, sending Jarrett to climb to the top. But D'Lo meets him there to deliver a superplex, when Double J would trap Brown in a pin attempt that gets a 2 count. And Jarrett telegraphs his move, only to catch D'Lo trying to kick him, taking him down to apply the figure 4, but Brown is able to kick him out of the ring to avoid. And Miss Kitty climbs to the apron to distract D'Lo, who turns right around to Double J, whacking him with the vacuum for the pin and the win. Post-match, Jarrett takes the mic again, challenging Chyna to a match later in the evening.
Yeah, this was all incredibly obvious, but fine, in-ring fun.
Yeah, it was a fun
but
match.
the vacuum, I was like, oh, well, I know why the vacuum's there.
Well, it might be leading to something as well. But it takes us to our second match, The Godfather with Hughes versus Gangrel. And we haven't seen the Pimp wrestle since WWF Monday Night Raw of June 28th, 1999, episode 369.
I know when The Godfather came out, I was like, oh, I know what this show is. And then Gangrel came out, and I was like, oh, this is just going to be a quality house show.
And Godfather reminds everyone that pimping ain't easy.
Nah, because you got to hit a bitch.
When the Vampire Warrior comes down and seems to ask for one of the hoes, only for Godfather to ask the crowd if he should offer one up. But it sounds like they wanted to see him kick Gangrel's ass instead. So we get headlocks, shoulder tackles, and a blocked hip toss that leads to a short arm clothesline and turnbuckle smashes by the Godfather. Only to telegraph his move, allowing the Vampire Warrior to nail a DDT. Gangrel continues with stomps, back elbows, chokes on the ropes, followed by a body slam and multiple elbow drops for a 2 count. And Hayes lets us know that Chyna will respond to the challenge of Jarrett after this match, as the Pimp reverses a whip to send the Vampire Warrior to a corner, only to charge into a big boot and a second rope clothesline for a near fall. Gangrel then misses a second rope elbow drop, with Godfather rallying with right hands, clotheslines, a body slam, and a leg drop for a 2 count. And a reversed whip sends the pimp to the corner, who catches the Vampire Warrior charging in with a back elbow, before delivering a "Whoo!" train and a pimp drop for the pin and the win. Michael Cole's then in the back with Chyna.
That pause. It's like, yep, we all just saw this happen. It happened.
Asking if she accepts the challenge from Double J. And she does, thinking that Jarrett has vagina envy, and that she's going to mop the floor with him. British Bulldog then interrupts to say that fans came to see him, not her, and he wants a title shot, and is going to demand that he gets it tonight.
Yeah, when I started this show up, I was like, that's why the Bulldog is back. But that might be a rude thought of me because I like the Bulldog, but you corrected me that they were planning on using him. But they also could have just said that. And I'm like, hey, we're going to go to England. We need to pop a house. But it's 1999. They could go to the UK and they're going to sell out no matter what.
They could put Brooklyn Brawler in the main event and they'd still pop a house. We go to our third match. Venis versus Mark Henry.
So much horny in a row.
And Venis takes the mic to let the ladies know that the Rugby World Cup is going on right now. That the Big Valboski and the game of rugby have a lot in common. The game's played with balls, and sometimes it can get a little rough. However, the object of the game is to always score.
That sounds mostly homosexual. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but that's not Val Venus's persona.
So Val opens with right hands and a clothesline, but he runs right into a power slam by Mark for a 2 count. Henry with right hands, only for him to charge into a back body drop that sends Sexual Chocolate to the floor, with Venis hitting a baseball slide to keep up the attack. And the 2 exchange strikes when Val goes for a slam, but Mark weighs too much, allowing him to drop Venis on the railing. Now back inside, Val is thrown into a corner, only to retaliate with a clothesline and a drop kick that staggers his opponent. He continues with a turnbuckle smash, but a reversed whip sends Venis to a corner, where he avoids a charging Henry to deliver a side Russian leg sweep for a near fall. Another reversed whip has Mark attempting a press slam, only for Venis to float over and cradle up his opponent for a 2 count, followed by a running bulldog, a series of elbows, and the money shot for the pin and the win.
These matches are moving quick. I think we might get to 10. I don't remember the number, but it's like, oh, we are just making sure that everybody gets to see all the guys they like. I appreciated Val Venis after the Bulldog because Mark's so big. He drops like 3 or 4 like standing elbow drops to his chest before the money shot. Also, Mark's a heel at the moment, but yeah, I still can't believe that Val Venis is a face, but this is 1999. We're listening to Korn. We're listening to System of a Down. Limp Bizkit's at the top of the charts. Of course, Val Venis is a babyface.
We go to the back where British Bulldog walks into the McMahon's locker room, demanding his title shot.
He's pretty stern about it.
And Vince reminds Davey Boy that he already had his match, which he got on the SmackDown before the show.
I mean, also there was the 6-pack challenge. I guess he meant more of a one-on-one thing.
But this pisses off the Bulldog, who tosses a trash can, which hits Stephanie McMahon, who was standing over in the other corner of the room.
Yeah, but a big white brick wall room in an arena. Bulldog's in there, in their face. There's a trash can. He throws it against the wall. We never see Stephanie, so I assume she was outside of the room. And then
when he first walks in, you see her on the phone in the corner.
Yeah, I didn't.
And so then when he throws it, you obviously know that it doesn't actually hit her.
Yeah, of course, because it was a weird trash can, but it was metal.
We then go back to our announcers discussing the unexcusable actions of Davey Boy.
Yeah, they're freaking out because
Stephanie McMahon.
She's going to have to do a stretcher job, brother.
That takes us to our fourth match. Tori versus Jacqueline versus Luna Vachon versus Ivory for the WWF Women's Championship.
And I know this will probably last all of 3 minutes, but it was just nice to be like, Jacqueline and Luna on a pay-per-view having a wrestling match. Ivory gets to do her thing every pay-per-view at the moment, but we love Jackie. We love Luna.
Speaking of Jackie, we haven't seen her since WWF Monday Night Raw of June 28th, 1999, episode 369.
Yeah, so basically almost 6 months ago.
I mean, at this point, it's been almost 4 months.
Yeah.
Luna goes right after the champ, beating her down when Tori would join in to hit a vertical suplex, making a cover, but Jackie makes the save. All three challengers stomp away on the champ, yanking Ivory off the ropes, with Jacqueline attempting a cover, only for Tori to make a save. Vachon with the clothesline to Ivory as Tori and Jackie exchange strikes, but they pull Luna off of a cover as well. And Ivory seems to cut a deal with Jackie, who fends off the other challengers with clotheslines, body slams, and snap suplexes for 2 counts. Luna and Tori then take down Jacqueline with a double clothesline, teaming up for a double snap suplex with both ladies making a cover, only for Ivory to make the save. And the champ starts yelling at Jackie, who just gets back in her face, leading to exchange strikes until the other challengers pull Jacqueline off. Ivory then locks on a sleeper to Jackie, followed by Vachon applying a sleeper to the champ, only for Tori to then put the move on to Luna as well, until Jacqueline drops down with a jawbreaker to break it all up. And Michael Hayes does have the line of the night here.
I know I talked so much shit on him at the top of the show, but he's channeling his inner Lawler.
And he literally says, "Talk about a hoe train."
It's good. It's really good.
Like I said, that was probably the line of the night. All three challengers then attempt pins, with Ivory powering out of each, sending them onto the ref,
bump,
leaving him dazed. Tori and Luna brawl as the champ grabs her belt and whacks Jackie with it for the pin and the win. Post-match, Ivory runs to the back with Vachon giving chase, as JR apologizes for being a bit detached, as they were concerned about the welfare of Stephanie.
Jim Ross trying to cover his ass because he doesn't care about this.
We then cut backstage to see paramedics getting Steph on a stretcher.
She's doing the neck brace jobs, something that runs in her family so well.
We see a replay of Bulldog confronting the McMahons in the trash can throw, followed by the paramedics rolling the youngest McMahon to an ambulance, as we cut to Michael Cole with Davey Boy in his locker room, saying he owes Vince an apology, only for Bulldog to say Mr. McMahon owes him an apology, and he will be getting his title shot tonight at Rebellion. Davey Boy then admits that as far as Steph's concerned, it was a complete accident before walking off.
Bulldog is kind of doing, you're going to give me, he's like got the authority characteristic of like, you're going to give me what I want that Stone Cold has, but he's going like that extra distance that Stone Cold doesn't do, where it's like, so now you're a heel instead of like being like, no, fuck you. And he also doesn't have a huge, this is what I want, as opposed to this is what you owe me. But, you know, throwing the trash can at the boss's daughter is a step too far. Austin would never.
That takes us to our fifth match. Road Dogg Jesse James versus Chris Jericho with Curtis Hughes. And James does his stick for the crowd, followed by attacking his opponent on the floor, where they brawl into the crowd, with Road Dogg leaping off the railing to deliver a double axe handle. Now back to ringside, Chris is sitting to the guardrail before being rolled inside, where Jericho's up first to stomp away on his opponent. But a reversed whip and hot shot onto the ropes regains control for James. Jericho then reverses a whip to hit a corner clothesline and chokes, only for Road Dogg to answer back by sending Chris so hard into the corner, he goes in upside down, landing in a tree of woe.
Yeah, you can see Chris almost feel like over rotate to do a flare flop because that's like
Yeah.
a thing that he does more often. So it's like his body is just like, oh, this is what I do. But he's like, oh, he like stopped himself short to fall back into the tree of woe.
James follows in with a drop kick before Jericho nails a hot shot onto the ropes, followed by a springboard drop kick that sends Road Dogg to the outside, where Hughes gets a few shots in as well. And James is brought back in the hard way, with Chris making a cocky pin attempt, followed by grabbing a hold, which Road Dogg looks to counter into a backslide, only for Chris to kick his way free and continue the punishment with a slingshot splash, more chokes, and a springboard bulldog for a 2 count. We get more chokes on the ropes and a running straddle by Chris to work the back of James before going to a chinlock, when Road Dogg would rally to escape with right hands and a back body drop that puts Jericho on the apron. Chris climbs the turnbuckles, so James hits the ropes, causing Jericho to crotch himself, allowing Road Dogg to hit a superplex and a swinging neckbreaker for a near fall. Chris then catches James and attempts to apply the walls, but Road Dogg powers free and goes for a clothesline, only for Jericho to duck and nail a German suplex. Chris then attempts a lion salt, but James rolls away in time to deliver shake, rattle, only for the roll to be ducked, taking out the ref instead.
Ref bump.
A big right hand and the shaky knee drop keeps up the attack from Road Dogg when Hughes enters the ring to whack James over the back with a chair. And Jericho makes the cover for the pin, and no, Road Dogg kicks out. Battling back with a leaping forearm to Chris, right hand to Curtis to knock him off the apron, only to turn around to a low blow from Jericho for the pin and the win.
Nice. It was cool to see Chris win. I think if this was an American pay-per-view, they would not have let Chris beat the Road Dogg. Maybe with, I mean, obviously he did it with a low blow. He is a heel.
Yeah, probably, since it's a singles match and the Outlaws are back together.
I guess they are back together. But it was just nice to see Jericho because everything's been like DQs.
Yeah.
And just nice to see him get a win over somebody who gets a pop.
Yep. JR then sends it to a video package of a Rock and Big Show meet and greet at a local Virgin Records, where over 10,000 fans showed up.
It's pretty wild.
Fans are interviewed about how excited they are, while police officers were concerned about public safety. Ross says some fans stood in line for over 12 hours before mentioning they have no update about Stephanie yet.
I don't know that I would wait 12 hours to meet the risen Jesus Christ. 12 hours in a line, man? Would you wait for anything?
Did you go stand in line for Cody Rhodes yesterday?
No.
He was at the Walmart over here.
I'm not 11 years old. That's cool, but like I'm happy for all those kids, but I had no idea. I also don't really have much interest in meeting celebrities or getting autographs. It's not my thing, so yeah, maybe that's just me.
But that takes us to our 6th match. Chyna versus Jeff Jarrett with Miss Kitty. And Double J rushes the ring to attack with right hands, but the 9th wonder of the world answers back with a clothesline and a shoulder block. Chyna then sends her opponent to a corner, only to charge into a back elbow, leading to Jarrett coming off the second rope, where he's met with a low blow.
The finish of the last match they had.
And Chyna attempts a pedigree, but Double J counters it into a catapult of his opponent into the turnbuckles, followed by stomping away and a running straddle that the 9th wonder of the world avoids. Chyna then picks up Jarrett on her shoulders for an electric chair slam, when the British Bulldog would come down and attack Chyna to cause a disqualification.
I was excited that Bulldog has had a strong presence, but I'm ready for Chyna to just get a win over Jeff Jarrett. Granted, we weren't meant to see this, so it just feels like the Chyna Jarrett thing's getting dragged on even longer. Like, this pay-per-view was not for the American audience.
Davey Boy continues with a running power slam to Chyna before Double J locks in the figure 4 as well, until officials can break it up.
Jarrett's been spamming figure fours. So
I mean-
specifically to women.
Yep. We then get more footage from the Virgin Records meet and greet.
Very funny to see just all these kids with British accents be excited to meet The Rock. More so, I mean, we love Paul. We like Big Show, but at this point in time in 1999, all those kids just wanted to meet The Rock.
Yeah. It shows Big Show and The Rock signing stuff for people, with both men giving their thoughts on the reaction that they've received from the fans, which was overtly positive.
Yeah.
But we then go to our 7th match. Big Show
Where-
versus Kane in a no DQ match. And the two men get into each other's faces when they exchange strikes until Show runs into a big boot, but answers back with a clothesline and a dropkick that sends the Big Red Machine to the floor. Kane climbs back to the apron and hot shots Big Show on the ropes before delivering mounted punches in a corner. Show then shoves his opponent off, nails a back elbow, knees to the gut, and a hard whip across the ring, only for the Big Red Machine to charge out with a clothesline and a dropkick that has Big Show staggered. So Kane attempts a scoop slam to no avail. More traded strikes when Show double choke lifts and drives his opponent down to the mat for a 2 count, keeping up the attack with elbows, a headbutt, and a backbreaker, stretching the Big Red Machine over his knee. Big Show with chokes and chops until the Big Red Machine fires up with right hands, but a reversed whip sends Kane chest first into a corner, followed by a reverse DDT for a near fall. And Show applies a Boston Crab until he loses control of it. So he sends the Big Red Machine to the ropes, misses a clothesline, with the Big Red Machine hitting an enziguri and attempting another scoop slam, only for Big Show to fall on top of him this time. Kane then avoids an elbow drop to nail a DDT, heading to the top for a flying clothesline. The Show then blocks a chokeslam and kicks his opponent out of the ring.
The Big Show dropkick was cool and impressive. Big Show, he's hitting his stride as far as physicality and understanding what he needs to be doing in the ring.
And Big Show gives chase to the floor, sending the Big Red Machine into the steel steps, followed by rolling back in when he grabs a chair to use, only for Kane to kick the weapon into Show's face, allowing the Big Red Machine to finally scoop slam Big Show for the pin and the win.
I thought that this was good because these big guys, 2 big guy matches are typically boring, and I don't know if I loved it as much as I appreciated Paul White's growth. I think that's more to do with it.
Yeah, I can understand that.
Yeah, because this was way more.
I didn't hate it by any means, but
it was just I was just surprised at his physicality because he comes from being the guy that they brought in just to beat down via Hogan, and nobody taught him stuff, and he smoked cigarettes on the way to the ring, and here he's looking good and showing that he's learning and putting himself out there. So
we go to the back where Michael Cole is with Triple H, and Cole asks about Bulldog demanding a title shot and attacking Kane, with Hunter responding that he doesn't care about anything other than the WWF Championship. He's beaten The Rock from one side of this planet to the other, thinking Rocky will have a better luck finding a full set of teeth in the crowd than beating him for the title. I am driven. I am focused. I am the game. That was a good final line.
Yeah, for sure. He's getting better.
Yeah.
And the experiment is working.
We then go to our 8th match, X-Pac versus British Bulldog. And Davey Boy uses his size advantage early on, tossing Pac around, who in turn showcases his speed with an arm drag and a spin kick, only for British Bulldog to catch and power slam his opponent down to the mat. Davey Boy then throws X-Pac to the floor and gives chase to run him into the railing several times, before returning to the ring to hit a stalling vertical suplex for a 2 count. And Pac fires out of a chin lock, but runs into a knee lift to be put back into the hold, forcing him to rally once more to connect with a spinning heel kick. And JR mentions that Stephanie will stay overnight at the local medical facility for observation, and she could make her way home as soon as tomorrow.
So the same time that she'd be leaving the UK anyway?
Pretty much. X-Pac then keeps up the attack with strikes and a series of kicks that takes Bulldog down in a corner, allowing him to nail the Bronco Buster. Pac charges back in, only for Bulldog to catch and press slam his opponent down onto the ropes, followed by a running power slam for the pin and the win. I definitely say this is pretty close to a squash match.
Yeah, X-Pac can take a loss from the Bulldog because the Bulldog is much larger. The Stephanie angle allows for the crowd to boo the Bulldog in the UK.
I thought they did a really good job in this show of making sure that there was not just overwhelmingly cheers for him in his hometown.
And I mean, good on him for being a convincingly enough dickhead. Yeah. Granted, hitting a 20-year-old girl in the head with a trash can, it's never a good look. But
we go to the back where Hardcore Holly runs into his cousin weighing himself. And Crash has to explain the difference between pounds and stones in a bit of a Abbott and Costello send up. But that takes us to our 9th match. Edge and Christian versus the Acolytes of Bradshaw and Faarooq versus the Hollies of Hardcore and Crash Holly to be the number 1 contender for the WWF Tag Team Championships in an elimination match.
Cool mix of guys. I have a feeling who will lose.
Yeah, definitely.
I have a good idea who might lose first.
And Edge starts us off with a back body drop and drop kick to Hardcore, only for Holly to answer right back with a drop kick of his own, bringing his cousin in, who gets dropped toe hold right into the ropes, before Christian comes in with a top rope crossbody, but Crash rolls through for a 2 count. And Christian retaliates with a tilt-a-whirl front slam for a near fall, only for Holly to rake the eyes, sending both men to tag out. Hardcore is power slammed by Faarooq for a 2 count and goes for the Dominator, but Holly wiggles out the back to nail a back suplex. And both men bring their partners in, with Bradshaw kicking Crash and attempting a powerbomb, only for Hardcore to make the save with a clothesline. Crash heads up the turnbuckles, but the former militant knocks him down, causing Holly to crotch himself, leading to a super back suplex by the Big Texan. And Hardcore enters the ring to plant Bradshaw with a vertical suplex, followed by a clothesline to Faarooq to knock him to the floor, giving chase to Brawl on the outside, while inside, the Big Texan attempts another powerbomb, with Crash escaping, only to be dropped by a clothesline from hell for the pin and the elimination.
Love the clothesline from hell.
Edge then flies in with a missile drop kick to Bradshaw and makes the cover for the pin. And the Big Texan kicks out. Edge continues with a swinging neck breaker and a double second rope shoulder block with his partner to Bradshaw. But Edge's whip is reversed, allowing the Big Texan to hit a big boot and bring the former militant back to work over their opponent with strikes. Faarooq's taken down by a spinning heel kick from Edge, leaving both of them down momentarily, only for Bradshaw to return to stomp away and attempt the powerbomb again. But this time, it's countered into a back body drop.
Don't go back to the well.
Christian returns to team up for a vaulted crossbody, only for the Big Texan to catch and dump him down with a fall-away slam. Faarooq then tags in to lock on a bear hug before driving Christian down with a spine buster for a 2 count, followed by running his opponent into Bradshaw's boot and teaming up to nail a double spine buster for a near fall. And the Big Texan throws Christian around, bringing the former militant back for some more punishment, when he telegraphs his move, allowing Christian to drive his opponent face first into the mat. But Faarooq's back up in time to stop the tag, picking up Christian for the Dominator. But he wiggles free and plants the former militant with a DDT, making the crawl for the hot tag. Edge cleans house with drop kicks to everyone, sending Faarooq out to the floor, with Christian delivering a slingshot plancha onto him as well. While Bradshaw reverses a whip to knock Edge out with a clothesline from hell for the pin. And no, Christian breaks it up. And the former militant pulls Christian back to the floor where they brawl, while the big Texan places Edge on the turnbuckles, where he fights off his opponent to nail a tornado DDT for the pin and the win. So Edge and Christian are the number one contenders again.
Yeah, this was good and fun.
It was, very fun match.
And, they did all the right stuff to let Edge and Christian win.
Absolutely.
Without, taking it too far. This is in a normal WWF pay-per-view. There would be less matches, and this would probably go on too long. But because we're jamming matches into the show, this felt like the appropriate length to where it has more meaning at the end.
I mean, there probably just would have been more of a heat segment when the Hollies were in the match.
Yeah, but we all knew the Hollies.
We're not winning.
No.
Yeah. JR then sends it to a video package over our next match, where we see footage from Unforgiven and Raw, where Triple H had become champion, thanks to Austin making the 3 count. Bulldog would also come out to remind Hunter that they had a deal to give each other a title shot, but Triple H says that he lied, only for Vince to force the champ to still defend, but against The Rock. Stone Cold would also be pissed off since Hunter now had a match for the belt, only for Mr. McMahon to remind him that Austin will still get his championship shot at No Mercy, no matter who the champ is. And Rocky and Triple H would battle on Raw when Hunter would knock out the ref, followed by being stunned and rock-bottomed by Stone Cold and Rocky, respectfully.
It'd be funny if they decided to just swap it.
Swap roles.
Like, oh yeah, Rock, you can do the stunner.
Triple H was covered for the pin by The Rock when Bulldog would break it up, causing a DQ and delivering another running power slam to Rocky for a good measure. Then on SmackDown, Vince would give Davey Boy his chance at the belt, with The Rock as the special guest referee, who exchanges strikes with Bulldog before the match begins, allowing Hunter to take advantage. But Rocky doesn't make the count for either man.
So it just becomes a DQ?
No, he just doesn't make the count. Like, y'all can keep fighting if you want to.
Right.
Triple H finally has enough and goes after The Rock, only to receive a rock bottom for his troubles, followed by a people's elbow to Davey Boy. And all 3 men would end up brawling in the back later in the show, until Hunter gathers his belt back and goes looking for Chyna, but he finds Stone Cold instead, who lays him out in the back as well. Now back to our announcers who discuss Bulldog's actions from the evening, again showing the footage of Stephanie being knocked out and attacking Chyna as well. Also mentioning that Shane is on his way back from the medical facility. So we go to our 10th match, The Rock versus Triple H for the WWF Championship in a steel cage match. And the only way to win is to escape the cage, either over the top or through the door. And Rocky takes the mic to do his shtick, along with a bit about Willy Wonka, a chocolate factory, and some Oompa Loompas.
Yeah, I was like, what is this? What is the Willy Wonka thing? It's like, oh, it's the only thing I know about the UK. It's a Roald Dahl from Birmingham. I don't believe The Rock probably knows that. He probably doesn't know who Roald Dahl is.
Probably not. But the match gets going with Rock hammering away, only to telegraph his move. So Hunter kicks him away and fires back with right hands of his own, turnbuckle smashes, and a back elbow. And Triple H begins climbing, but Rocky pulls him down before hitting clotheslines, turnbuckle smashes, stomps, and a back elbow. Rock then climbs, with Hunter back up, so the challenger kicks him away and leaps off the ropes, only for Triple H to catch him in the midsection with a right hand. And Rocky's met by a high knee, but connects with a swinging neckbreaker when Hunter telegraphs his move, leading to The Rock making the climb, only for Triple H to yank him off, causing his face to hit the turnbuckle on his way down.
Oof.
Hunter continues the punishment by sending his opponent into the cage head first multiple times. But a whip to the ropes leads to The Rock catching Triple H for a Samoan drop, leaving both men down momentarily. Now back to their feet, Hunter nails a face buster and a clothesline, and he goes to escape, only for Rocky to prevent it by slamming him off the top. Rock then climbs and makes it to the other side of the cage, but Triple H is able to pull Rocky back inside, where they're both standing on the top rope trading right hands when they both fall and crotch themselves.
Double crotch.
Hunter begins to climb once more, only to leap off the ropes, but Rocky catches him for a rock bottom, sending him to an attempt to escape, only for Triple H to bring him back to the mat with a back suplex. Rocky then retaliates with a power slam and goes for another finisher, but Hunter blocks and counters it into a pedigree, leaving both men down again.
Both too exhausted, or Hunter's too exhausted to crawl over for the cover.
Triple H crawls his way towards the cage door, only for Rocky to grab his leg to stop him. When Hunter is able to grab the ref's chair, Earl Hebner grabs it away to prevent him from using it. Triple H then turns and nails Hebner, knocking him out.
Ref bump.
Before turning back to his opponent, who lays Hunter out with a right hand and crawls out to the floor, only for the ref to still be out.
Yeah, this was a little bit of bad camera work because the camera turns to Hebner getting knocked out to the floor or on the floor, and then it doesn't come back quick enough to see whether or not The Rock decked him or gave him a rock bottom. I assume he punched him because if he gave him a rock bottom, then that would mean that Hunter wouldn't get up as quickly. But yeah, I had to rewind a couple times. It's like, how did they not catch that?
Triple H crawls out as well, where the two men fight into the crowd, with Rocky running Hunter into the railing and grabbing a chair to whack his opponent over the head, causing Triple H to be busted open.
It's a cage match. There has to be blood, even though we found a way around it being a cage match. We're like, well, we gotta let them brawl in the crowd a little bit. We're in Birmingham.
Back at ringside, Hunter is placed on the announce booth, while The Rock jumps off the cage to send them crashing through the table, followed by returning to the ring to run Triple H into the cage face first several times, and a DDT as the ref begins to stir. And Rocky climbs the cage, but the British Bulldog runs down to attack, tossing The Rock back inside, when Shane McMahon would run down to fight with Davey Boy, only for Shane to be power slammed on the outside. The Stooges then come out, but Bulldog takes them out as well, entering the cage and working over both competitors with stomps and tosses into the steel. Rocky delivers a low blow to Davey Boy and a rock bottom to Hunter, and starts crawling towards the opening, only for Chyna to run down and slam the door on the challenger's head.
Love to see it.
Triple H is back to his feet to climb the cage, but Rocky grabs his hair to prevent him from escaping. So Chyna climbs the outside, only for Rocky to knock her off with a right hand. Bulldog then yanks Rocky down, which allows Hunter to make his way to the floor for the win. Post-match, Davey Boy continues to assault The Rock with another power slam when Vince would come down, locking the cage door, allowing Rocky to get some revenge on the Bulldog with a rock bottom and a people's elbow as JR says his goodbyes, and we fade to black. So I ask you, Michael, what are your overall thoughts of Rebellion 1999?
This is best possible house show.
Yeah.
A very unnecessary watch, but we mostly get finishes. Crowd's hot. Rocky gets his heat back at the end. He wasn't going to win the belt in Birmingham. So, like I said, unnecessary watch, but not a hard watch. It's best possible house show. None of the matches outstay their welcome. The last match is the longest. I think when Triple H comes out, there's still 30 minutes left in the show. So this last match goes on a while, but The Rock and Triple H are each other's like best opponents at this point in their career. So
like all the British shows we've covered from the WWF.
Yeah, sometimes I'm like, why do we even cover them?
It is a glorified house show, except for that main event,
Which is good.
which I think is very, very good.
I mean, they're the best opponents.
Enough that I think I want to put it on the short list.
Not mad at it. The Rock is so kind of whatever with most guys, but with him and Triple H, they get each other and they pull the best out of each other.
I think it was just the fact that we've seen cage matches before, but this one did something kind of ingenious. We knocked the ref out.
Yeah.
And this is one of those times where, like, I don't mind that we actually brawled on the outside for a little bit because, like I said, it was just kind of like this ingenious thought.
The excuse was a good idea, like an okay idea on paper, but the execution of it was perfect. So it's like, oh yeah, you can try that, but you could easily screw this up, and they just made it work. You know what I mean? It's like you can have this idea and it comes off as dumb or cheesy, but yeah, both these guys are in it and doing great work, and it worked. I rolled my eyes a little bit, but I wasn't mad about it.
Good. Where's the smart marks at? All right, fuck you.
I think it's time we smark it up. So, what are some of the best moments of this show? So I'm gonna ask a question.
Okay.
The first 6 matches take up the first hour of the show.
Yeah.
Of a 2.5 hour long show.
Mm-hmm.
Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
I wasn't mad about it because of what the card was. So it's like, all right, well, they went quick enough that it didn't feel like an hour had gone by.
Oh, I mean, literally, when I finished the 6th match and I still saw that we had an hour and a half left, I was just like, what else are we putting on this show?
Yeah, I was incredibly...
That's going to take up an hour and a half.
I was incredibly weary whenever I got to the last match and I saw there was 30 minutes left, but they did a great job. So that could have been a slog.
It could have been, and I thought they did a great job. I mean, obviously, I should shortlist.
I was nervous. I was like, oh no, this is going to be awful. A 30-minute cage match with Triple H and The Rock, and they pulled it off. So maybe that's the biggest surprise, is that there was 30 minutes left when Triple H came out to the ring, and I was like, oh no. And then I watched and enjoyed the match quite a bit.
Yep.
That they had the best. They did their job and had the best match of the show.
I mean, Jarrett and Brown, I thought kicked off, like, they were going at such a quick pace. I was just like, why are we going at such a quick pace with this match? Because these two guys can go. Yeah. And then obviously, we find out why, because they're just trying to jam as much stuff in as possible. But like that first match was really good as well. I know, like I said, it made me want to see them in WCW, where like there's a lot more like hands off, especially in the places where Jarrett or D'Lo would land on that card, where they're like, oh yeah, just go have your match. I thought they did so much with Bulldog on this show to make me. I mean, I'm going to say but we know you know what I mean. To believe that his character in his character, yes. Yeah. And so, as much as I say this is a glorified house show, I hope they do so much with this show in showing some highlights on Raw. Yeah. Or at least to try and help push that character, because it's working. I want to see Bulldog in this main event scene. He is like, you can see that it's like, oh, if Stone Cold was here, he could do the Bulldog part, but you just crank it down like 15% of the like meanness, and go more to like the Stone Cold version of like the guy that stands up for himself and hates his boss or whatever. It's like Stephanie doesn't have to get hurt for Stone Cold to interfere at the end of this, because he's Stone Cold Steve Austin. You already have all that history, but they built all this history with the Bulldog basically in one night, and I still believed it. There's one thing that I can that I love the Bulldog stuff. Yeah. There's one thing that I probably would have added. Because the entire night he's going around saying, I'm getting a title shot tonight. I'm getting a title shot tonight. Obviously, Vince and Shane left the building to go with Steph, so he didn't get his title shot. But he still had this match with X-Pac. Okay? I would have had him take the mic and, like...
demand
a
title shot, cut the boss down.
Put down, England, do a heel promo, basically.
Yeah.
But also basically saying, well, since I didn't get my title shot tonight, I'm destroying the next person that walks out here. X-Pac comes out. You could still have the same match because, like we said, I thought it was pretty much a squash match.
Yeah. And
you still could have done this match, but it would have gotten him just a little bit more heat.
Yeah.
And would have explained why he was still okay having this match when it's not for the title that he's been demanding all night long.
That he's going to take his frustration out on his opponent.
Yeah.
Which is X-Pac, who's much smaller than him. So like I said, X-Pac doesn't lose much by getting his ass beat by a guy that weighs like fucking $120 more than him.
Yeah.
At least he weighs at least 70 pounds more than X-Pac.
His pec's bigger than X-Pac.
Yeah. And that's no slight to X-Pac. We like X-Pac. But that's a good note. It would have helped, but it's impressive that they didn't even need to do
and
that.
It's one of those things that, like, I think probably if it wasn't just for the UK crowd, it might have been something they did, but they probably were just like, we don't need to do this because it's not going to really matter.
Yeah.
But there's enough stuff in this that I feel like they should use it, especially with the Bulldog and the Rock stuff.
And if you're going to drag this out more, if Undertaker's going to be out for a while, why not have Bulldog be a problem for everybody?
Yep.
Because he's doing it convincingly. It helps that he's the most jacked guy in the top of the card.
Yep.
I mean, although Kane is at his peak jacked right now. But he's still Kane.
Is there anything disappointing on this show? Like, that genuinely is disappointing because we know what this is.
Yeah, like the disappointing thing is like it's a house show, but like we've talked about it, the best wrestling shows that we've been to live are house shows because they're the most fun.
Yeah,
because you're not waiting around for stuff and commercial breaks and blah blah blah. And in a house show, you get finishes, so. It's like, oh, well, if I can't go to a pay-per-view, I'd rather go to a house show than a Raw because we like the wrestling more than we like the pageantry for the most part.
Yeah. Best performer of the night? I mean, I'm going with Davey Boy.
Yeah, because we've never really seen Davey Boy.
And that's considering that I just put a match
on the short list.
Yeah.
But
a guy that's not technically in that match is my best performer of the night. So that tells you how much I enjoyed the Bulldog stuff.
It's because we've never seen him particularly be a great promo, and now we're seeing him be a great heel promo.
Yeah.
Just like a detestable dude and selling it to the point where he's getting boos
in his homeland.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So that's a hard thing to pull off, and they wrote it right, and he performed it correctly.
Yeah. And most surprising, I mean, for me, we got a match that's worth a short list mention.
Yeah, on one of these UK shows.
On one of these UK shows.
Yeah.
Like, this is a match that I would tell people to go back and watch for certain.
Yeah, honestly, you can skip the rest of this show, even though I don't think it's bad. But that match, you get to see, like I said, The Rock and Triple H are each other's best opponents. Yeah. Is there anybody else that becomes a better opponent for The Rock? There's bigger opponents. Stone Cold and The Rock is a much bigger deal, but they don't quite have the matches. Also because Austin can't do as much as Triple H can at this point because of injury. And he doesn't have to.
Yeah.
Where Triple H is still proving himself, and The Rock is also still, he's there, but he's still proving himself. He's still on the ascension, as opposed to being the top guy and having to put up with Triple H.
Yeah.
he's fighting through Triple H to get to that spot. He's been the champion, but he was a champion as a heel that didn't win clean.
For the thousands in attendance and the millions watching around the world, ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to rumble!
Turn the lights down, turn the projector on, because we're ready to rumble. This week we're covering Bud Abbott and Lou Costello in Hollywood. Released October 5th, 1945 by MGM. Directed by S. Sylvan Simon, a one-time Oscar nominee, and written by Nate Perrin and Lou Breslow. Starring Bud Abbott, Lou Costello, and Francis Rafferty. The plot of this one is that when two bumbling barbers act as agents for a talented but unknown singer, they stage a phony murder in order to get him a plum role.
Sounds sweaty.
And some trivia for this one. This is the last of 3 films that Abbott and Costello would make while on loan to MGM. And we get cameos by Lucille Ball, Preston Foster, and Dean Stockwell as themselves. And some reviews and ratings for this one. IMDb has it at a 6.3, Letterboxd at a 3.3. And I found this review from Variety in 1945. It may not be an artistic triumph, but Abbott Costello certainly try hard enough to make audiences laugh. And it moves rapidly.
Yeah, I imagine it's very plotty.
My review of this one is the duo inserts their sketches into stories that doesn't help get us to the next narrative point. Those sketches are humorous, but I don't want an insomnia sketch in the middle of trying to be Hollywood agents. When this isn't happening, it's mostly someone just chasing after our heroes for one reason or another. But a highlight of the film is our wrestler, Mike Mazurki, playing Klondike Pete.
Get it, Mike?
This is our 27th time to see him. He's acting in a Wild West saloon fight, throwing Costello around as he acts like a prop dummy.
So this feels like they had a bunch of sketches that they never put into a movie, and then they just made a movie plot to throw
what all their movies basically are.
Yeah, but this one's like a little less focused, maybe.
Yeah. So I gave the film a 2.0. Like I said, it's very just kind of
whatever,
all over the place, and nothing really gels. While I gave Mazurki a 4.0. Like I said, he was the highlight of the film.
That's awesome.
In his scene.
Happy to hear. That's, I think, the high score you've given anybody.
I think so.
Also, I didn't realize that. When did this come out? 44?
45.
45. Yeah, Dean Stockwell must have been young.
Yeah, I believe he was a child.
Yeah, because I love Dean Stockwell mostly from his incredible performance in Blue Velvet, but he's also in some other great movies that I
mean, most people probably
know
from Quantum Leap.
Yeah, and but he's played bit parts in some artsy classics: Paris, Texas, Mary the Mob, Blue Velvet, Live and Die in L.A. But yeah, just like I can't picture Dean Stockwell as a young man, so I just looked up that photo and it's like, it's Dean Stockwell without wrinkles.
Yep. Next week, we're gonna watch.
Oh no!
Heroes of Wrestling.
This is the show that I think it is.
It is the show you're thinking.
Where it's like the worst wrestling pay-per-view ever.
Yes.
And I'm excited. And Jake's on there, right? And he's all fucked up.
Yes.
Who else?
King Kong Bundy, Yokozuna, Bushwhackers, Tully Blanchard.
There's probably at least 30 YouTube essay documentaries about this show.
It's also, the entire show is on YouTube as well. So if you want to watch along, that's where it is.
Was this put on by the cokehead that killed himself? What's his name?
No, I don't, or at least I don't think so.
The UWF guy?
He didn't, the guy who produced the show didn't have anything to do with any wrestling at all at the time.
It was just maybe we can make some money. Wrestling's really hot right now. It's 1999. What if we took all these? Let's see how many washed up stars we can get.
Absolutely.
And if we can put on a cheap show and make $1 million.
Something like that, yeah. We'll talk more about it next week.
I'm excited to watch this. I've definitely heard a lot about it, but it's been quite a while. I've never watched the show, so it will be, I'm sure it will be stuck in my brain after that.
The music from this week's show is Rebellion by Jim Johnston, and Triple H won our main event, so we play My Time by Jim Johnston. And if you like this episode or any of our other ones, please go out there and rate and review us on iTunes, Spotify, YouTube, or wherever you find your podcast at. If you're doing the YouTube thing, make sure you like, subscribe, hit the bell for notification.
I've said it a bunch in the last few weeks, but leave a comment. I want to know if you guys are real, because we're getting YouTube hits that probably outdo a lot of our podcasts, like app hits. So I'm just curious, are you real?
But if you have any questions, comments, concerns, hit us up on our email at wrestlinghistoryx@gmail.com or find us on X at WrestlingHistoX. That's Wrestling HISTO X. We'll talk to you next week.
Later.